Hello, I am Warren Wiscombe, and I'm teaching a course called An Overview of Science Fiction and the Real Science, if any, behind it. It starts March 30th, and I hope you will join me. In this course, I will exclude pure fantasy, superheroes who defy the laws of physics, and horror with no science content. I enjoy those works, but they deserve their own courses. I worked at NASA for the last 30 years of my career, so I know a lot about space travel and other topics in this course. I have had a love of science fiction since my preteen years when I read Jules Verne and H.G. Wells in classic comics, if you remember those. My life has spanned the whole golden age of sci-fi. In the 1950s, most sci-fi movies were just junk, and good sci-fi authors were few and far between. Now, science fiction movies attract A-list screenwriters, directors, and actors. Sci-fi books now compete with conventional fiction in literary merit and imagination. Throughout the course, I will note areas where sci-fi bends or even breaks science in order to tell a better story. Faster than light travel, taking shortcuts through wormholes, and time loops like in Groundhog Day are examples. This course will be peppered with lots of graphics and many short movie clips. We will discuss 6 sci-fi subgenres, one per lecture. First is early history before 1980. Just after science began its exponential climb in the late 1700s, the first true work of sci-fi arrived in Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein. This was followed by the novels of Jules Verne about a flight to the moon and H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, godparent to hundreds of time travel works. In the early to mid-1900s, sentient robots emerged in the play R.U.R., and futuristic dystopian themes emerged from Zamyatin's We and Orwell's 1984. The second lecture will be about aliens, astrobiology, and the origin of life. The best sci-fi no longer portrays aliens as just monsters. Think of Steven Spielberg's E.T., for example. And starting in the 1990s, computer graphics could credibly depict more sophisticated aliens. In the movie Arrival, a human linguist tries to communicate with a truly alien species. In the 1990s, NASA founded the field of astrobiology so that we might recognize life where we find it. Astrobiology is increasingly hinting that life requires the confluence of a lot of events, so we may never meet aliens. Third lecture is on exoplanets. Before 1995, we knew of no planets around other stars. Now we know of over 5,000. I've given a whole course on exoplanets, but I will focus here on comparing real ones with sci-fi ones. So far, we have found nothing like an Earth 2.0. In the long run, we may have to change planets to better suit us, which is called terraforming. And we'll see how this is done in fact and in science fiction. Finally, we look at examples of creating complete sci-fi environments called world building. Avatar is a famous example and seems appropriate to mention since the third Avatar movie just came out. Fourth lecture will be on robots, AI, and a little bit on virtual reality. As with exoplanets, I gave a whole course on AI. These are very popular themes in sci-fi right now, partly because sci-fi is rushing to stay ahead of reality as we watch robots, real robots, do somersaults, and AI intrudes into many aspects of life. Intelligent robots appear in Ex Machina and in a raft of movies about robot servants that their masters form a relationship with. Finally, we will explore sci-fi works which address the real nature of reality in an AI context. For example, the Matrix series, starting in the late 1990s. The fifth lecture is on interstellar travel and time travel. Here we'll look at the problems with humans living in space. We'll look at current ideas and plans for going to the moon and Mars, and at various concepts for starships. Proxima Centauri, our nearest neighbor star, at only 4 light years away, would take 70,000 years to reach at the speed of the Voyager spacecraft. We will look at the various methods in sci-fi for interstellar travel and how realistic they are. Finally, we will look at whether time travel makes any sense at all. The last lecture will be on apocalypses. The genre began in 1826, again with Mary Shelley's The Last Man, published just 8 years after Frankenstein. But it really took off after Hiroshima, when fear of nuclear war spawned many mutant monster movies. Through the 1960s, nuclear war and, I have to admit, UFO attack were the main concerns. But since then, many more concerns have arisen. Asteroid impacts, pandemics, totalitarian dictatorships, as well as slower disasters like environmental and climate degradation, extreme overpopulation, and robot or AI revolts, as in the Terminator. Please join me